One nation and one big fat political controversy. Stalin Jr.'s words, Udayanidi's words that has led to a political storm. All of that coming up. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. These are the headlines. Stalin Jr. remains defiant on his Sanatan Dharma attack, says did not target one religion and said nothing wrong. Politics rages over Udayanidi's Sanatan remark. Priyank Kharge backs Stalin Jr. BJP tears into Congress, asks, is this official stand of India bloc? As tensions continue to escalate in Maharashtra, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde chairs high-level meet over Maratha quota, says no one should politicize this issue. Massive India Today impact on jailhouse luxury. Kapil Vadhavan shifted to Maharashtra's Nashik jail. India Today exposes scamsters free run in jail. UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath to invite Prime Minister Modi for inauguration of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Yogi to meet Prime Minister Modi in Delhi tomorrow. As India gears up to host the G20 summit, rattled Chinese President Xi Jinping to skip G20 summit, sees red over India cementing its position as a global power. And ISRO releases fresh images of Vikram lander conducting second soft landing on moon, completes hop experiment from current location at Shiv Shakti point. Politics erupts over Centre's proposed plan of one nation, one election. The opposition has slammed Centre's 8-member panel headed by former President Ramnath Kovind to discuss the possibility of holding simultaneous Lok Sabha and Assembly elections, calling it an eyewash. Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge said the proposed bill will sabotage Indian constitution and democracy, questions why the Election Commission was not included in the Centre's committee. Meanwhile, AIMIM Chief Asauddin Owaisi called one nation, one poll a disaster for parliamentary democracy. Says government has already decided to go ahead with the bill and the committee was just a formality. On the other hand, BJP defended its proposal, saying one nation, one poll would save cash and free up time for developmental activities in the country. Meanwhile, political analyst Prashant Kishore said one nation, one poll is beneficial for both government and the voters, but it cannot be implemented overnight.
It's not about centralization of power because that's what the Constitution provides, but it also showcases that the leadership of the Congress does not have much to state on this particular subject because this particular aspect is beneficial to the country. You end up saving money, you end up non-politicizing the developmental issues, you end up working for the infrastructure development in a focused way for at least 4.5 years, and balance 6 months in run-up to election you start to accuse each other, abuse each other and do whatever you need to do.
One nation, one election, एक देश एक चुनाव असंभव है बिना संविधान संशोधन के। संविधान का संशोधन होना जरूरी है। संविधान संशोधन के लिए आम सहमति की जरूरत बनती है, तो ये सब बाद में देखा जाएगा। अभी तो ये एक समिति का गठन हुआ है। हमारा विचार बिल्कुल साफ है। कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष और पूर्व कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष ने साफ कहा है कि ये संघीय ढांचा पर एक भयंकर आक्रमण है।
One nation, one election is a diversion from the India alliance. They are scared. Suddenly they did not call a parliament session during for the pandemic. They did not call it for Manipur. They did not call it for Chinese intrusion. Suddenly one election, one nation, one election is coming back. We need more than 5 constitutional amendments for it. We need the People Representatives Act amended for it. Where has the consultation happened? In the federal structure, they also need to consult with the state governments. Where have they consulted with the state governments? What about, have they consulted with the security forces? It requires massive deployment of security. So I think it's just a deviation.
भारत जैसे बड़े देश में मैं खुद इलेक्शन से जुड़ा रहा हूं। हर साल 25% भारत का हिस्सा करीब करीब वोट करता है। तो पूरे टाइम सरकार चलाने वाले लोग जो हैं वो इसी चक्र में फंसे रहते हैं, आज यहाँ इलेक्शन आज वहां इलेक्शन। अगर इसको एक बार या 2 बार में किया जाए तो ज्यादा बेहतर होगा, उससे खर्च भी बचेगा और जवाबदेही भी बचेगी। जनता को भी एक बार ही निर्णय लेना होगा।
That is for Ghulam Nabi Azad Sahab to understand and explain in what circumstances he is the only politician to have been nominated. अगर one election, one nation का मकसद ये है कि regional parties को खत्म किया जाए, इनको जो है मिटा दिया जाए, तो फिर आप कैसे कह सकते हो ना आपकी नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस या कोई भी रीजनल पार्टी इसके सपोर्ट में होगी। अगर के मकसद यही है कि सिंप्लीफाई हो, प्रोसेस सिंप्लीफिकेशन की बात अगर है तो उसमें हमें कोई एतराज नहीं है।
मैं समझता हूं कि कहीं ना कहीं ये इंडिया गठबंधन के बनने के बाद जो घबराहट है उसके कारण एक नकली बहस प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के द्वारा वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन के ऊपर चलाई जा रही है और कहीं ना कहीं अडानी के करप्शन से ध्यान हटाने के लिए वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन की बात हो रही है।
All right, let's cut across to my colleague Aishwarya Paliwal and Rahul Gautam, who are both joining us with the very latest that is coming in. Aishwarya, what are you getting in from the Bharatiya Janata Party? Is it just to maybe begin a conversation, the committee set a narrative, or is there actual seriousness of mooting and introducing a one nation, one election bill this special session?
Well, one thing that I can very clearly tell you, Preeti, is the fact that the government, especially Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they want that discussion on one nation, one election is something that should happen. He's been speaking about it not for the past few months, but the year 2016. He's been speaking about it to political parties. We also saw how in the year 2019, in fact, a lot of opposition parties were also called by the Prime Minister, and there was a healthy discussion that took place. The government at the moment says that if we have one nation, one election, which in fact used to happen in our country till the year 1967. So they believe that it is something that can be done, but yes, all the opposition parties are up in arms against it. The Bharatiya Janata Party believes it will do normal people a lot of good. It will save a lot of money and will also make sure that we are not regularly in the election mode. This is what at the moment, Preeti, the BJP believes in.
All right, let's quickly bring in Rahul Gautam into this conversation. Aishwarya, Rahul, what is going to be right now the strategy of the India Alliance, especially the Congress? Rahul, can you hear me? All right, we seem to be having a problem with our connection with Rahul Gautam. We're going to try and get in a Congress perspective. But with that, let's quickly move on into the news bulletin with the very latest that is coming in, where by-polls across the country are concerned. Well, tomorrow they're all slated, whereas it's 6 states across the country that will hold by-polls to 7 seats tomorrow. These states will hold by-polls to fill vacant seats in what are set to be the first contest between the BJP-led NDA and the opposition India bloc ahead of several assembly polls in major states later this year. The seats that go to polls on Tuesday include Dhupguri in West Bengal, Dhumri in Jharkhand, Ghosi in Uttar Pradesh, Bageshwar in Uttarakhand, Boksanagar and Dhanpur in Tripura, and Puthupalli in Kerala. All these by-elections planned, especially in by-polls like Ghosi. This is going to be the first test where India Alliance is concerned. Interesting to watch as all these 7 by-elections are due tomorrow. All eyes on these polls as well. All right, we're going to be cutting across to my colleague Samarth Srivastav, who is getting us the latest coming in from Uttar Pradesh, as well as Indrajit Kundu, who is going to be joining us from the state of West Bengal with more. But like I pointed out, viewers, 7 seats across 7 states are going into polls, and to take you through the seats that are up for by-elections, and very, very important, especially where certain states are concerned, because this will be the true test, especially that of Ghosi in Uttar Pradesh, where it will be the India Alliance technically facing off with the Bharatiya Janata Party. To give you a figure, the seats that go to polls on Tuesday include Dhupguri in West Bengal, Dhumri in Jharkhand, Ghosi in Uttar Pradesh, Bageshwar in Uttarakhand, Boksnagar and Dhanpur in Tripura, and Puthupalli in the state of Kerala. All right, let's move on right now. In the news bulletin, we're going to try and connect to our reporters. There seemed to be a bit of a technical problem there. But moving on in the bulletin, tension continues to escalate in the state of Maharashtra today. The Maratha Kranti Morcha held bandh in many areas of Maharashtra, denouncing last week's Lathi charge. Amidst this escalation, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde held a high-level meet today to discuss the demand of the community. Here's a detailed report.
Tensions escalate in Maharashtra. The Maratha Kranti Morcha held bandh in many areas of Maharashtra on Monday, denouncing last week's Lathi charge on the protesters in Jalna who were demanding reservation for Marathas. Manoj Jarange Patil, the leader of protests who is on a hunger strike, has demanded Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis' resignation. The protesters are blaming Fadnavis, who is also the State Home Minister, for the Friday Lathi charge.
एक सर्कुलर निकालने के लिए एक दिन काफी है, तभी हमने 2 दिन दे दिए। सरकार ने सर्कुलर निकालकर मराठवाड़ा सह महाराष्ट्र का सबका न्याय देने का काम करेंगे। ये काम करना है, ये हमारी मांग है उनको आणि वो करेंगे ऐसी आशा है
की दादा तुम्ही फडणवीसांचा राजीनामा तरी घ्या किंवा मग त्यांची साथ तरी सोडा। आम्ही तुमच्याकडे सकल मराठा समाज तुमच्याकडे खूप आशेने बघतो आणि या ठिकाणी जे गुन्हे दाखल तिथे झालेले आहेत ते गुन्हे ते शासनाने त्वरित मागे घ्यावेत, कारण त्या तरुण मुलांचा सगळ्यांचा आयुष्य या ठिकाणी बर्बाद होईल। मी दादांकडे मी खास करून विनंती करतो।
The face-off worsened on Friday after police tried to take Manoj Jarange Patil to the hospital. Protesters targeted state transport buses and private vehicles and clashed with the police, leaving many injured. State Minister Girish Mahajan visited the hunger strike site on Sunday night, attempting to negotiate a truce but failed. Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has ordered a probe into the Lathi charge and protests on Friday. The state government has appealed for peace.
सरकार पूरी गंभीरता से मराठा समाज को आरक्षण देने के लिए काम कर रही है और मराठा समाज को आरक्षण मिलने तक सरकार चुप बैठेगी नहीं। सरकार पूरी कोशिश करेगी ये आरक्षण फुल प्रूफ होगा और उसका लाभ मराठा समाज को देना ये भूमिका सरकार की है।
Maharashtra Navnirman Sena Chief Raj Thackeray on Monday met the people agitating for Maratha quota.
परंतु मी आता या सर्व लोकांसाठी या गेंड्याच्या कातडीच्या लोकांसाठी आपला जीव गमावू नका। त्याच्यासाठी काय एक जण गेला तर फरक पडत नाहीये, पण आपल्यासाठी महत्त्वाचं आहे।
An earlier government headed by Devendra Fadnavis has implemented 16% quota for the Marathi community in 2018. But this was quashed by the Supreme Court in 2021. The protests for Maratha quota could become election issue ahead of 2024 Lok Sabha polls. With Pankaj Khelkar in Jalna, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's move on now. K.S. Ishwarappa, known for his controversial statements, is yet again in the news. Firing a fresh salvo at the Siddaramaiah government, K.S. Ishwarappa said that Operation Kamla will begin soon in Karnataka. Slamming Congress ex-Karnataka Deputy CM said that the grand old party has no future in this country. Launching a scathing attack, K.S. Ishwarappa went on to say that Congress will be wiped out from Karnataka after 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Hitting back at the BJP, Congress leader Meem Afzal said that BJP should be ashamed after losing in Karnataka. Meanwhile, Congress spokesperson Lavanya Balal Jain demanded Election Commission to take action against K.S. Ishwarappa for not respecting constitutionally elected governments.
Karnataka ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷ ಭಾರಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವರ ಶಬ್ದ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ನಾವು ಒಪ್ಪಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಬಂದು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರ ಹಣೆ ಬರಕ್ಕೆ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ಎಂಎಲ್ಎನೂ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಏನು ಬರೆದಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯ ಹಿಂದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮುಂದೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇರಲ್ಲ.
Where is Mr. Ishwarappa now? Where is Mr. Ishwarappa now? He's at home. He can give all the interviews he wants. They have already given him voluntary retirement. Now because now इतना टाइम है तो करेंगे ना, उतना तो बात ही करेंगे, करने दीजिए.
For a senior leader like K. Ishwarappa to talk about Operation Kamala so openly shows that the BJP does not respect constitutional framework, the constitutional values, or the constitutionally elected government and people's constitutional rights. The Election Commission and the courts must take cognizance of this statement of Mr. Ishwarappa.
देखिए, बड़ा शर्मिंदगी भरा बयान है उनका कि वो बहुत साफ तौर पे कह रहे हैं कि वो ऑपरेशन लोटस करते हैं कि या तो वो, आप सभी ने, हमने सुना था महाराष्ट्र में भी 50 खोखे 9 टोखे के नारे. ये साफ दर्शाता है कि भाजपा एक इमोरल, करप्ट, अनएथिकल सरकार है और उसको ये एडमिट करने में भी कोई शर्म नहीं आ रही.
You are watching Fact Check segment where we bust fake news. A video circulating on social media shows a group of white people chanting Indian Vedic mantras. Those sharing the video claimed that the event took place in the White House, the official residence and workplace of the President of the United States. However, India Today found that the video in question is from Croatia and not related to the White House at all. The video showed the Vedic chant Sri Rudram performed by the European Veda Union in Croatia, a country located in Central and Southeast Europe. This fact check on viral fake news is done by India Today's team Afwa.